Good day. My name is Ronnie Mkwanazi. I'm a corporate and international trade lawyer based in Sandton, Johannesburg, South Africa. Today, I want to talk about the distribution of dividends for a corporation. And the reason this is important is because there's always a silent war between the board of directors and shareholders. For the simple reason that the board usually has more insight into the company in terms of its performance, its reserves, and market conditions. So consequently, the board would rather not declare dividends so that they can reinvest the money into growing the business and getting more market share. On the other hand, you have the shareholders who are always sitting and waiting for the dividend to be declared. And if there is no framework to guide how this should be done, it can create tension within the company. And to avoid that, it's always best to develop a dividends policy, which will then provide the framework of how dividends should be declared by the company. The first thing to remember is that the dividend is declared, and paid out to shareholders of the company. And this is usually where a company has made a profit in a particular financial year. In terms of the Companies Act of South Africa, the dividends have to be distributed in terms of Section 46 of the Companies Act, which effectively states that a dividend can only be declared once a solvency and liquidity test has been conducted by the company, and the board of directors of the company are satisfied in terms of the solvency and liquidity test that there will be sufficient resources left for the company to continue as a going concern once the dividend has been declared. In addition to the Section 46 conditions of how a declaration should be done, it's also important to define the type of shareholders that the company has. We know that mainly you have two types of shareholders: your ordinary shareholders who do not have any guaranteed dividend payments, and your preference shareholders who usually have a guaranteed fixed return on their investment. That will have to be clearly defined in your policy to determine how to go about paying this different type of shareholders you have. The next thing to determine in your policy is the type of dividends the company will pay out. You normally have cash dividends, bonus share dividends, property dividends, cash dividends, which is what is mostly preferred by the shareholders. And of course, you can use a model where you have a hybrid dividend model for the various type of dividends you would like to declare. It's also important to remember in your policy to clarify the announcement date and the payment date. The announcement date, also known as the declaration date of the dividend, is very important as it has tax implications for the company. In conclusion, it's important to remember that even though dividends that are received by individuals in South Africa are generally exempt from income tax, the company still has to withhold a 20% dividends tax, which they will then pay over to the South African Revenue Services. For any assistance or to engage more on issues around shareholding, the governance of companies, corporate law relating to companies, please reach out to us and we will gladly help you. Until next time, thank you.